assistant principal at a middle school in West Virginia. Prior to my position as the assistant principal, I was a math coordinator for a local school district, and prior to that, a middle school math teacher. In my years of teaching math, I quickly realized that my students perform much better at remembering the steps to mathematical algorithms if I associated them with a mnemonic device. Mnemonic refers to memory, so a mnemonic device helps create images or relationships to steps for students so they can encode that information into their brain. Today in this next segment, I'm going to show you a mnemonic device that I use to teach my students so that they could remember where to place their decimal point when dividing a decimal number by another decimal number. I refer to this mnemonic device as Scaredy Cat. So this is the method I refer to as Scaredy Cat, and this method helps students remember how to divide a decimal number by a decimal number by knowing how many places to move the decimal point in their quotient. So when I'm first teaching this, I use a problem to represent the dividend and divisor family. So the dividend family is represented as 136 300ths, and you can see that the decimal point there is represented with Scaredy Cat. The divisor family is represented as 6 1/10, and you can see that the decimal point is represented by the divisor's dog. So the rule is when the divisor family comes to visit the dividend family, the dog has to take so many steps to get to the door of the dividend's house, and that cat has to take that many steps backwards and then jumps to the roof. So let me use this example. In this particular example, the dog has to take one step to get to the door of the dividend house, so Scaredy Cat takes one step backwards and then jumps to the roof. And now we know exactly where our placement of our decimal point belongs. And then we just solve the problem as normal. So 61 goes into 1 0 times, 61 goes into 13 0 times, 61 goes into 136 twice. 2 times 61 is 122. I subtract that away and I'm left with 14. And I bring down my next digit and start again. 61 goes into 140, again 2 times. That's 122. Subtract, I'm left with 18. Bring down my next digit, and I'm left with 183. 61 goes into 183 3 times, and 3 times 61 is 183. So when I subtract that away, I'm left with a remainder of 0, leaving my quotient as 22 3/10. So Scaredy Cat, if you remember the rules of Scaredy Cat, you know exactly where to place your decimal point in your quotient. So let's look at another example. In this situation, we are dividing 13 603 thousandths by 61 hundredths. So using the same rules as we did the last time, the dog has to take 2 steps to the door this time, which means Scaredy Cat takes 2 steps backwards and jumps to the roof. Okay, so the dog takes 2 steps towards the door. Scaredy Cat takes 2 steps backwards and jumps to the roof. And now we're ready to solve. Same way as before. 61 goes into 1 0 times, 61 into 13 0 times, 61 goes into 136 2 times, 2 times 61 is 122. Subtract, and I'm left with 14. Bring down, start again. 61 goes into 140 2 times. 2 times 61 again is 122. Subtract, and I'm left with 18. Bring down, 183. Start again. 61 goes into 183 3 times, which is 183. So subtract, and I have 0 as a remainder. So my final quotient again is 22 3/10.
So whatever we do to the horse, or in this case, the booty biting Rottweiler, then the kitty cat that's in here is afraid of him, right? So he's gonna go back and get away from him. The same exact number of spaces that the Rottweiler had to do to get to the front door. what's that rule when we do the same thing for one side that we do the other? Braylon?
The golden rule.
The golden rule of math, right? All right.